Before I start, there's a little bit of disclaimer here that whatever I'm sharing today is basically through my personal opinion and experience lah. So I hope that you can pick up something or something that's similar to you that you can learn from it also. And a little bit about myself. I've been in this industry for about 11 years as a real estate agent. And for sales-wise, I've been in this industry for about 22 years. Previously, I was in car sales. So after that, I jumped into real estate about 11 years ago. So all in all, about 22 years of sales experience. When I first started as a real estate agent, I focused mostly on the new launch, so new home. Then in about 5 years into the business, I find that, hey, I should try something different. So I went into residential resale. So I focus mostly on sales and sale and renter. And of course, through my mentor recommendation in 2015, I obtained my ACTA. It is actually a very good course. I learned a lot of things from there. So I would encourage anyone who is interested to take up the ACTA and then maybe join in our learning department as a big family. Okay, and of course I came over to OrangeTee in 2016. So as of now, it's already 4 years. Time really flies. Okay, importance of positive thinking. Judge me, then trust me. Of course, when you first started to meet someone, especially your client, what they will do is that they will first judge you. They won't say straight away give you, oh, I give you my listing, I trust you, you can do everything for me. First thing, they will judge you first to see whether you are capable, are you able to help them in all the way. And of course, your appearance, your speaking and your behavior will definitely something that they will judge. So actually having positive thoughts will help you in many ways. One is to keep you going. Why I say that is because if, let's say, for example, you heard something about a negative setback. As a trainer myself, I do have some feedback from the ground sometimes that, oh, you should present in this way, how it can be done better. If I take all these comments negatively, okay, then I would say that I will be very miserable. But if I take this positively, I think that, hey, this guy is actually trying to help me. So for the reason is that I should improve myself in that way. So I find out more from him why I do that and why he think that this is right or this is wrong. In fact, there's no right or wrong. So then he shared with me. So from there, I improve myself. So it actually keeps you going and improve yourself to be a better person. If not, you can just simply give up and then you forget about the whole thing and then you step down. Always step back and think about it, what they did. What is it that people raise that? For example, okay, if some people come to me whether say that roadshow, is it still working? Okay, there's two sides of it. To some people it doesn't work because to them is that they do not have a positive mindset. They find that, oh, doing roadshow is basically just to go out, stand on the road and give out all the flyers that you have on your hand. So before they even start, they already have the negative setback on them, a negative thinking about it. So when they go there, they actually bring negative vibes. So you do not actually engage the customer very well. Alternatively, if you take this positively, say that, hey, today I'll just go out and try my best to get as much as I can. So when you go there, you put on a smile, you hold yourself up, and then people actually can feel you. So when you talk to them with a smile, they actually can feel the positive in you. Then from there, they are more willing to engage you. So when you approach them, they will first judge you, but with a good smile. And of course, when you talk to them with confidence, then they will bring down their guard a little bit, and then they will start to listen to you. Of course, it is not easy job, okay? Then from there, you can actually engage them if you are able to. So for roadshow, is actually two ways. So positive thinking is always very important. Number two, it actually helps to cool you down. For example, if you are in an argument with somebody, somebody will definitely throw you negative comments. If straight away you jump into the conclusion and then you start to raise your voice and then you start to talk back and then try to defend yourself, that is actually lead to an argument between the two of you. Then it becomes very, how to say, it becomes an argument instead, okay? Why don't you just simply take a step back and then ask them, why do you say that, okay? Is there any reason? Is there anything that you see that I don't see? By saying that, first thing, you are telling people that you're actually positive. Second thing, you are actually telling people that you are listening to the person that is talking to you. So of course, when he heard that you are asking him a question back instead of defending yourself, then he will also think positive and he will then try to explain to you why he feels that way. If you agree with him, then of course you can then work things out. But of course, if you have anything that is not agreeable, then you all can go into a deeper discussion that whether whoever is right. There's always no right or wrong. To me personally, I feel that in an argument, everybody is always saying this, that they are right. So you have to judge for yourself, okay? Even judge what the question is, and then you decide yourself. So this discussion will then be very fruitful, and it will not be an argument, instead it will be a discussion. The very good example is that most of the time when you go for a listing presentation or you go to meet your client, the question they ask you is that, how much do you charge your commission? This is the question that I always been asked. So for me, I usually ask them, is that a concern to you? Why do you ask that question? Then of course they will start to give example, blah, blah, blah. So and so actually charged me only this much. Why are you charging 2% for a sale? Then you can then slowly explain to them. By asking them this question also helps to cool them down, okay? Then you can actually engage in a better discussion. Because one thing, when they first meet you, they don't know what you are able to do for them. So for them, they find that paying 2% commission, for example, 1 million property, 2% is about 20,000. It's actually a lot of money to them. So if you can tell them what you will be doing to them and what are the costs that you are going to get involved with, okay, then actually all this will cool them down, and then they are more than willing to accept you on the commission that you are actually asking. So far, I'm quite lucky that most of my clients are able to understand, okay? And then the next thing, third point, it helps you to see better. I've already explained in the first two points that how it helps you to see better, because you don't go straight away into conclusion. Okay, with a positive thinking, you start to step back and then you think about what the person is actually trying to tell you. Then you step back and think, oh, there must be a reason why he said that to me. So with that, you start to think and you start to see things better. Then you can give them very positive suggestions or even feedback. Then you can improve yourself as well. And of course, the fourth point is actually positive thinking helps you to improve your relationship with your client. By doing a very good discussion, okay, by giving positive feedbacks, positive suggestions, okay, through your positive thinking, okay, it actually helps to improve the relationship. Then you all have more topics. Then you all start to communicate with each other. Then from there, you will be able to progress ahead rather than you just stuck there and then start arguing with each other whether the point is right. And of course, at the end of the day, you may lose the exclusive, you may lose the opportunity as well. Last but not least, it brings you luck. I don't know about yourself, but most of the time it happens to me. When you have positive thinking, okay, you actually feel happy. The moment you feel happy about certain things, it actually helps to bring up yourself. And then at the same time, you feel very good, and lucks usually follow people who is happy about it. I once just share with you, once I did a project in East Coast area. I actually almost closed the sales after convincing the buyer to buy a property. He find that is quite good, and then he think that he want to buy, but he need to discuss with his partner because it's a partnership. He's a businessman. He need to discuss with his partner, and I know he's quite well to do. So he said that give him a few days to think about it. So of course, after that he went back. After a few days, then I realized actually someone bought the same unit that I actually recommend to him. And after some finding, I find that I know that the person who bought the unit actually is the customer that I convinced him to buy. Reason is very simple, because buyer are actually they always want to have the best buy, so they will start to look around. And this agent actually undercut me by giving additional things. So for me, if you think it positively, you do not close. Basically, you do not close every sales. Some sales belongs to you, some sales don't. So just move on, and then from there you just work on the next sales lah. I also understand that the sales did not go through at the end, so it could be also a blessing in disguise that I don't have to go through the refund stage and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, that is the few points that I want to share with you. So positive thinking is very important. So how do you think positive? Give me a minute. Okay, how do you be positive? First, how do you think positive about yourself? First, you must invest in yourself. What do you mean by invest in yourself? You have to look good. I'm not asking you to dress up with branded or expensive goods, but you must be able to dress in a way that you are comfortable with, and then at the same time carry yourself well. Recently, I've been to a few viewings. I've seen agents that dress very casually to do their viewing. Some even in their Bermudas and t-shirts. Some went in their track pants and just a very simple t-shirt. So for me, I find that it is not very good to me, my personal opinion, because first thing I want to respect my client, so I want to dress a little bit more appropriate. So you do not want to overdress yourself as well with a suit or a tie to prove yourself. Most of the time now, I see people dressed with a company polo tee with a jeans, and they can actually carry themselves very smartly. So this is something that actually I personally feel. When I am in a t-shirt, okay, I feel very relaxed and very casual. But when I wear a shirt, I tend to be more confident in everything that I do. So I don't know about yourself. That is how I feel. Sometimes when you don't dress yourself well, you may lose your gut. But when you dress yourself well, you bring yourself up. People, the first impression to you is very important. This is how you should do. Invest in yourself first. Okay. The second point I want to put here, as you can see from the slide, is to improve yourself. Improve yourself, what I mean here is to improve your knowledge. By being present with a presentable, and you can carry yourself well. But when you go there, you ask for when your client asks you for opinion or asks you for suggestions, and you are not able to answer, that is something that will cause a discount on your presentation. So a very good example is I recently have a client who got a unit from me. What she do is that she showed me her unit and then said that, hey, I actually get a designer. But then after a few months, when I got back to her, she told me that, hey, she actually changed another designer. I asked her, isn't it the first one not good enough? He said that when he went to the place, he actually asked the designer, nowadays the bedroom usually is quite a pretty reasonable size, I would say. Okay, you just fit a bed and then you just have a wardrobe. That's about it. So he asked the designer, I do not have a bomb shelter. I do not have a store. I only have that bedroom, but I have a lot of stuffs. What can you do to help me in this room? The designer actually just came back to her and said, what do you think? What do you want to do? Or how can I help you? So for this point, I find that it turns my client off because you're not helping her in any way. What you need to do is first maybe give a suggestion, say that, oh, you do not have a bomb shelter, you do not have a storage. What I can do is a platform bed for you so that you can keep all your stuff below. Okay, by giving these suggestions, okay, you ask the client, say, what do you think? So you're actually giving a signal to the client saying that this is what you suggest, positively, and then see what is the response. Then that the discussion can go on and not directly jump into the asking the client what they want instead. This is what I feel. Okay, the other thing is basically to upgrade yourself. Actually, me and Vincent has been going through a lot of discussion during this timing, and then I really appreciate to him because he really put in the effort. Yesterday we still talk until about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and he's very helpful lah. So I'm also first time doing this Zoom thing, and he's very helpful to help me. Then he asked me, what is the difference between improve and upgrade? Isn't it the same? Okay, improve yourself basically is to attend as many classes as possible to gain as much knowledge. Some people, when you first join, you don't have a lot of story to tell. You don't have a lot of experience. So when I first started, I do a lot of gathering with my teammates. Okay, I go and listen to all the seniors. So they will share with us very openly what is their past experience, what have they encountered. So through this experience, I start to realize that, oh, actually, there's a lot of things that we can learn from them. So sometimes a simple gathering like that actually helps you to gain a lot of knowledge. So upgrade yourself is basically, of course, to get your knowledge up. And then the other thing I do by upgrading yourself is that top producer, they have their certificate, they have their trophy to show. But for new beginners, new people, what I would suggest to them is that you should get as much review as you can. Okay, OrangeTee has a very good platform. They actually have this agent review, which actually generates a lot of leads for most agents. Personally, I did one step extra. Other than completing the sales, if I'm serving the seller, OrangeTee will actually send a link to my seller and tell them to give some comments about my service. And most of the time when I get good result, if I'm serving a direct buyer, I will also pass them a link to feedback at orangetee.com. Okay, I say, hey, because I have helped you through this transaction, are you happy with my transaction? If they are happy with it, then pass them the link, ask them to write in for you, because all this is actually proof to tell people that you are there to help them. Okay, last but not least, I want to say is that promote yourself. if you have done the above, invest in yourself, you dress smartly, and then you improve all the knowledge, and then you get, but you don't promote yourself, you only know it yourself. You don't know about other people don't know you. So property business is all about you. Your face is basically the shop, the signboard, and your reputation. So if you don't promote yourself, customer don't know you. Sometimes you have to expose yourself, be confident, be positive about yourself. Then you can talk about it to your client as well. Okay. Next, think positive about your business. Nothing is too late. When you have a lot of people think that in real estate, when I want to start a GTA, it's already too late. Nothing is too late. So when you go to a place where there is already a agent that is already stationed there, is a very strong and very prominent agent, and also some of the area they may have teams there to already conquer the whole estate already. So for you, you find that, oh, it's too late, but you must think positive that you must think like a business owner. Nothing is too late. Farming at that area, okay, why we call this farming is because when a farmer go and farm their crops, they do not expect to have returns immediately. All these things, they will have to wait for a certain period. And after a certain period, you may not get your result. Reason being is very simple. It really depends on the weather, the fertilizer you use, and whether you have watered the plants enough. So do it differently, and then you must, of course, take care of your business as much as it is. Okay, so as long as you try your best, it's never too late. Like I mentioned to you, some deals are meant to be yours, some deals are meant not to be yours. So even if you go in as a beginners, as long as you're willing to try hard enough, I believe that one day you will be as close to the achievers there, or you will take over them, because ultimately those producers, those people that is stationed there, they are also human beings. They will burn out also. They have their own commitment also. So if you cannot beat them, it's okay. So just be there, just be present. It is never too late. So you must always think positive about your business. If you think positive about your business, then your client will then give them the trust, because if you yourself is not confident about your business, how can I entrust my property to you to sell? Property is a very important asset to Singaporeans. So they will want somebody who is positive about themselves, their business. Okay? And of course, positive about your actions. So take actions, keep trying and be consistent. If you don't try, you will never know. I personally experienced a few times when somebody asked me to help them to do a viewing. So when I first started, I came, oh yeah, don't go lah. It's waste of time. This is very difficult to sell. Seller is asking at a very high price. So that was the mentality last time. But nowadays, when I was given an opportunity, as long as I'm free, I will try my best to be there to help them as much as I can. And then you must be consistent with what you are doing, and you do not do halfway. So keep trying, and then one day you will be able to achieve what you want. Just to share with you also, what do you mean by keep trying? In Hokkien, they said "tan ku jiu wu." Actually, it's quite true, because I actually helped my friend to market his commercial for 3 years. Of course, the first 6 months, I did actively market through all the portal and do all my marketing. And subsequently, after the 6 months, I just consistently post on website and then do simple advertisement, stuff like that. And after 3 years, I managed to close the deal. And also recently, I managed to sell a landed property that I have been marketing for the last 2.5 years. So keep trying, you never know. Like I said, when it's yours, it will be yours. And the other thing I want to share, which I learned from the website, which is very good, is do not do a plan B. I keep thinking why people keep telling us, I mean, when I look at this positive motivation talk, they say don't do a plan B. I keep thinking why they don't encourage you to do a plan B. After hearing the explanation, then I realized actually, if you do a plan B, you are not having a positive thought. When you want to do something, you should plan ahead and focus on plan A. So when you keep doing your plan A, okay, anything along the way, you find that it is not working out, then you start to tweak and change. It's just like when you heading towards a destination, on the way they bound to have traffic light, they bound to have traffic jam. So during this instant, what you can do is basically either during the traffic light, you can stop to think about it, okay, what is happening, how can you move faster, or during a traffic jam, you find that, oh, okay, this is not going to work, so I need to divert my route. That is how you should do. If you have a plan B in advance, okay, most of the time, personally, when I used to do plan B as well, I focus more on plan B rather than plan A. So most of the time, I'm actually doing 2 plans at one go, and it actually brings down your productivity. So my plan A, I will plan halfway. Then I will start to think, if my plan A doesn't work, what should my plan B be? Then I start to plan on plan B. So it actually wastes a lot of time. Okay, so what they say is quite correct. Okay, individual thoughts. I find that if I focus on my plan A, I will just do it consistently. And anything along the way, I will just tweak and change. That will be my plan B along the way. Agree to disagree. This is something that I learned from Vincent also. Okay. So for conclusion wise, positive thought will actually keeps you focused, motivated, and keeps you working. Being positive, it actually helps you to focus better. Reason being is that if something's bad happen, if you think it positively, you will focus to get it done. And then it will actually motivate you to do better. You will keep on working on it until you are successful, and you will not stop halfway. When all these things happen, you will start to spread positive energy. Then when your client itself, they feel it, they will trust you, and that you are very positive, they will trust you, then they will be more than open to share with you what they have, and then at the same time to give them their most important asset for you to work on. So positive thinking, I hope today, Positive Monday, can give you a very good help to motivate yourself, since today is Monday, for this 1 week. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.